Hello my friends, welcome to that electronic channel. This is Uncle Misha, and today we have one of pretty basic Walkmans right here. So this is Walkmans made by Sony. Model name, oh, it's not that visible. WM-FX10, made in Malaysia. Let's pop some batteries and see what's going on here. I don't think this is the Walkman to write something home about, but nevertheless, let's see if it's working. I found it on thrift store in a not a garbage bin, like a cheap bin or something. Yeah, looks like it is spinning. Okay, that's a positive news. So this Walkman is spinning, so we don't know how fast it's spinning, but it is spinning. So let's take a look what we have here. We have tape. Over here we have tape and radio selection, have headphones, tuning, volume, AM/FM switch. Right here we have two types of equalization, Dolby and... sorry, what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is more like a stereo. It says DX and local, whatever it means. Never was confused with DX and local means. Normal and 70 microsecond equalization, 120 and 70. Then we have stop, rewind both ways, and play. So yeah, this is not a super simple one. At least it has both bidirectional rewind, but it doesn't have how do you call it, auto reverse, and external power 3 volts. So two batteries already plugged in, and looks like it's spinning. So belt did not disintegrate it. So let's grab a cassette and listen to it. For this test I have my uber favorite Gara Visokak, because I do care. Let's listen. How does it sound? I think it sounds loud. Sounds a little bit too slow. How about radio? Yeah. Radio works. Alright, radio works. That's good. Okay, so what we have to do, have to open this little guy up and take a look what's going on with the belt, and maybe we just need to tweak the speed. On positive side, it says lift. Lift and then what? Lift and pull, lift and pull. Yeah, because like I know what are those holes, and maybe they adjust something, I don't know. Maybe one of those are speed. And I don't see any screws. Maybe this thing is just snapped together? Could it be? It could. Let me poke around and see how easily to disassemble this guy. Okay, it took me some time. The reason is because this thing, it has only clips on the perimeter. There is no you see some broken now. There is no any single screw. Right, this thing was actually clipped, so it took me quite a bit of persuasion actually to get it out. I think I broke some clips right here. So let's see what we have. So a lot of plasticky parts in here, but looks like our belt is in relatively good shape right here. Let me get the pokey bit. Yeah, in relatively good shape. So yeah, okay, we're gonna definitely test the speed with our speed test cassette. Everything is relatively okay here, so let's try to pull out the tape Mac. Looks like this is very interesting construction. the tape Mac is on top of the board. So this is very interesting because how do we take it out? Oh wow, guys, you won't not gonna believe it. This thing just sits there. There is not a single screw actually right in here, like not a single screw. So this thing just placed in the case, and looks like the board and the tape Mac is super tightly integrated. It's like a one module. Well, it's super plasticky, but at the same time I like it. Despite it being like super pooper plasticky, this thing honestly looking not too bad. And looks like this tape mechanism allows auto reverse operation, because looks like there is a place for another pinch roller, looks like there is a place for another capstan right here. So technically, yeah, take a look at this. So this wheel can be extended and be another like capstan here. Wow. Okay, head is in good shape. So yeah, this is amazing. That's actually well done. I think it's done made in China. Made in Malaysia. So this guy made in Malaysia. So yeah, definitely built to the price, but nevertheless, it's still actually built quite well, I must say. Very plasticky, but still built quite well. And what's cool about it, that the head right here is on the connector, so you can disconnect the head. And I don't know what else. Don't see many screws. Like, it's not like I need to go in there because belt is easily accessible. And yeah, I don't see any screws. Is it just pops out? Maybe looks like there are a few things soldered through, like this this little contact here, but I don't see more of any kind of screws. Jeez, like what's going on? Yeah. Wow, look at this nice grounding for the motor. The motor driver. This is amplifier. This is a FM tuner cheap, right? So this is, yeah, all well done. Like nice. There is no, there is not that many electrolytic capacitors, but this is ELNA capacitors. Like no joke. It's another ELNA, and I don't see what the heck is the other capacitor is. This little black one, really hard to tell. Yeah, it's good. Like it's well done, despite being cheaply made and probably built to the price. It's looking good actually. Yeah, relatively simple tape Mac. Probably needs some lubrication here and there, but yeah. Oh, what I see, what I don't like here, this head, this just glued into place. So if you want to replace this head, you have to, like, you see this? This is like glue. Let me zoom in. Alright, I'll be zoomed in. Look at this. So that's glued here, and that is glued here. So that head, we have to rely on the manufacturer to make sure this head is actually properly glued in place. But the head is actually in a good nick, in good condition. Yeah. It seems to me. Yeah. So there are two options here. Definitely gonna run a speed calibration in order to calibrate the speed. And what is the speed potentiometer? I do not know. Well, judging by the proximity to the motor, I bet this is the... Oh, there is more capacitors, and this one are... Looks like the other capacitors, some Matsushita. Really hard to tell. Anyways, this bunch. This potentiometer is probably responsible for speed. Rest of them, which is like, if you look at this, like 1, 2, 3, I don't know what that is. This is probably tweaking some FM coils or something. That's only... I hope no one actually tweaked them. But this guy is clearly close to the motor and the motor controller. So yeah, this is clearly the speed, and there is a hole right in here. Alright, so it's just time to actually tune it up the speed. So in order to tune up the speed, I MacGyver this speed calibration cassette. I recorded it on my Harman Kardon CD 491 yesterday. So because I do have proper calibration cassette, like for a from good and trusted source, I decided to like after I calibrated my other cassette deck. This is like a direct drive dual capstan. So I decided to record one for use in this kind of cheap product. I actually have two of them. So this is going to be another video I recorded on Sony HF old one and a Maxall UR old school one. So today I'm gonna use this one. Okay, also I have this contraption which I'm gonna plug in here, and then I'm gonna be using my multimeter to check the frequency. And always there is a problem with the glare, but we're gonna use little battery. So let's just plop the cassette in. Just like this is what I mean. It's super handy to play with this guy. Kind of, you have to turn it around because otherwise it's gonna rub all these mechanical parts against the bench. Okay, just plop this in. Yeah, unfortunately I have to use the multimeter probes, something like that. Gonna be not super, probably, and not the best contact. So now I have to connect external power. So I have this bench power supply set to 3 volt and 1 amp power limit. And the very important thing, not to forget, if there is no polarity is not specified here, not to forget the polarity. So spring is negative, pimple here is positive. Otherwise this guy gonna be gonski. Positive is this way, negative is that way. Okay, it is connected, so let's do play. Right now we see some action going on here, and let's see the speed. Why it says 4 kilohertz. Okay guys, I couldn't wrap my mind why the multimeter showed this kind of garbage, and I decided to pull oscilloscope, and I think I understand what's going on. Look at these freaking interferences. This is ridiculous. Like where are they coming from? From lights? Okay. Let me shut down lights. No. Okay, what's going on? Well, you know what? Actually, it's a Canon 6D was causing the interferences. This is ridiculous. I never actually even considered that camera can actually do that. Look at this. Well, it's still kind of bad signal because it's still a lot of interferences, but way better than this camera. Take a look. Let me turn on the camera. Wow, that's nuts. Let's shut down the camera. Whooped. Ho ho. Okay, so we tweaked, and here is the frequency. It's about, well, it's jumping all over the shop, but about 3 kilohertz. Okay, yeah, I didn't realize. So actually it's kind of interesting. When I'm working on some other devices, I didn't thought the camera can actually cause that. Obviously it's probably the bad design of this cassette player built to the price, and also no shielding on critical components, but still, yeah, I have to think about that. Like, I didn't realize that could be an issue. Look at that. This is crazy. So some of the audio circuits can actually pick up shit from your surrounding equipment. In this case, camera, even from oscilloscope, from switch mode power supply, from your lights, you know, they can cause interferences, especially compact fluorescent lights. They can cause a lot of interferences, so keep that in mind when you play with your equipment. Look at that signal. This is horrible. So I think at this point we are done with tuning up this guy. Let's just try to listen how it plays with our old or previous test cassette. Okay, here is my all-time favorite calibration cassette from Garavi Sokak, and I'm gonna put this back on. I'm gonna plop the cassette in here. Still pretty handy to do so. Alrighty, headphones. Unfortunately, I have to actually make a little teeny tiny amplifier. It's gonna sit here on a desk. It's probably gonna be one of the other projects. Let's just, because the headphones are pretty loud actually. So yeah, looks like this guy is actually working. Yeah, so clearly we tweaked the speed. It was, according to the oscilloscopes, actually was too fast. But judging by our previous measurement, it was actually too slow. So I don't know what the hell happened here. Yeah. So what else has to be done to this cassette player? Let me stop this guy. I'll remove that. And remove all this. So no, I don't think I need to lubricate anything. It's actually all already lubricated. Some dried lube here, maybe a little bit over here. Yeah, add a little bit of lube over here, because this kind of slides. But beside that, there's nothing else to do. Yeah, not sure I had to lubricate here. It's plastic on plastic, it's not metal on metal. So yeah, it's probably gonna be as good as... So what are you gonna be doing with this cassette player or Walkman? I'm not sure, because it's pretty basic, but there are two interesting components, this and that, and maybe even that. So technically, if I find a cassette player which needs like audio chip like this, I can actually pull this out and take it apart. So this is also probably good motor. It's really hard to tell what is it, because it's all encased. All right, but just good to have sometime, like the donor unit, right? So this can be a donor unit, because I don't think you can sell it for much of a money, like what, $10-15 or something. I don't know. No, maybe $15, maybe. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad actually. Probably it has significant valve and flutter. Maybe I still have to replace the belt. And pinch roller is actually pretty clean. There is not much really cleaning going on, but I'm still gonna clean it up. But I don't think it's actually neat. Head is clean. Everything is actually pretty clean. Looks like this unit was not used too much. Well, I think that's good enough of the video. I think this was a very interesting look inside one of the very budget models of Sony cassette players. I'm not sure what year is actually manufactured, doesn't say here, unfortunately, but it's clearly very budget model. It's still, I think, the quality of manufacturing is relatively decent. We're gonna have few more budget cassette player from Sony, and even not Sony, but that's gonna be surprised. I'm gonna take a look what's going on in there, just to compare with this one. But as far as budget model goes, this is actually looking good. It doesn't have capacitors, it have good capacitors, soldering is nice, component base is nice, everything is nice, layout. So tape Mac is okay as well. Lots of, like 100%, sorry, not lots, 100% plastic except the motor. Probably not gonna last a lifetime, but it's gonna last for a while for sure. Yeah, it looks like the belt is maybe a little bit too floppy, especially when you do that. You see, it's like, yeah, but good for what we have. So yeah, maybe belt also adds to the how do you call it, to the valve and flutter. So I think it's gonna be it. I'm gonna put it together. I'm gonna probably keep it in a pile of cassette players and then figure out what to do with it. Working cassette players. So thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Please don't forget to subscribe. Ciao.